All right. Hey, try to pull it up on the tube real quick. I'm gonna try to pull it real quick. Shalom, Akim, Shalom, Shalom. Bear with us real quick and
Shalom.
see if it's on here. Esau internet is trash.
Yeah, we good.
We good? We in there?
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful. Man. With that, man, before we start it off, we want to say, call hello, Yallah, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem HaKadash. Double honor to our apostle, Elder Great Mills, on you well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth for our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This your brothers, the Great Millstone Charlotte, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. The spirit just wanted to do a lesson going in on who the kingdom of heaven is for, man. And that's a subject that's been taught throughout for years here in Babylon the Great, that the kingdom of heaven is for everybody, man. But it's not, man. Because when you go through the scriptures, you'll find out that the kingdom of heaven is only written for the nation of Israel, man. The Negro, Latino, Native Americans, man, the 12 tribes, man. And that the one you ignorant call Jesus Christ, he's coming back to restore the kingdom. And the kingdom will be his kingdom, man. And that would be the kingdom of heaven. With him ruling, and with King David under him, and the 144,000, and then the 1/3, and then the nation of Israel, man. That would be the kingdom of heaven, and that's to come. That's what we're seeking for, man. Hey, real quick, hey, Atazawam, can you grab me? Here we had no continuous city, but we seek one to come. Real quick, let me see.
Say that one more time, bro.
For here we had no continuous city, but we seek one to come. Because that's what we're seeking for here in these last days, man. I think I got it right here.
I got it.
Hebrews 13 and 14, Bible shot.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 14. For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come.
And that's the mind frame of the Israelites, man. Especially the ones on the highways and hedges, man. But here in Babylon the Great, we have no continuous city. We're destroyed. We're lost. Our people don't know what the hell's going on. They're in a position of distress. But the ones that's on the highways and hedges, hey, we seeking for the kingdom of heaven, man. That's the mind frame that we in, man. So that's the message, man. Who is the kingdom of heaven for? It's for the Israelites, man. We're seeking for that, man. And that's how it's been since the Lord came on the scene. That's how it's been, man. They always were seeking for when the Lord will restore things back to the nation of Israel, man. And that's how it's always, and that's written in the scriptures, man. We'll grab that, but at the same time, let's get that Psalms 2 and 1, because here in America, they teach you that everybody will be in the kingdom of heaven. But that's true. But it's gonna be a ruling class people in the kingdom of heaven, and it's gonna be a lower class people in the kingdom of heaven. The ruling class people in the kingdom of heaven will be the Israelites, man. And the people that be subject to the Israelites, that be servants, will be you heathens, man. And that's written. We're gonna grab that as well tonight, man. So with that, let's jump in that Psalms 2 and 1, Bob Shah.
God. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
And that's what you see taking place in this society, man. The people imagine a vain thing. They actually think that everybody's going to get a position in the kingdom of heaven, man. But the only ones that's going to be ruling in the kingdom of heaven will be the Israelites. And you can see that in these last days, man. You can see that the heathen on their way out and they seeking for salvation. But the only ones that's going to get salvation is the nation of Israel, man. The only one that's going to get mercy is the nation of Israel, man. The covenants, the promises is written for the nation of Israel. Let's grab Romans. Let's grab Romans 9 and 1.
Now, also the heathen think like Moab and Russia think they're gonna become the next world powers, man. They think after America go down, they're gonna step into that power seat and be the new superpower on the earth, man. Nah, Israel coming up next.
Yep.
And
that's right.
Did you want to keep going in Psalms 2?
Nah, that's it. Let's jump down. Let's get to Romans 9 and 1, and then we'll go to Matthew 10.
This is book of Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Hamashiach. I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Rakah Kodash that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh.
It said according to the flesh. So hey, let's keep going.
Who are Israelites?
Who are Israelites? So let's read what the Israelites are about to obtain in the Lord, how the Lord's dealing with the Israelites. Let's keep going.
To whom pertaineth the adoption.
So they're the only ones going to be adopted. The word adopted means to be brought back. You can't be brought back for something that you was never part of, man. And that in the way that America teaches adoption, is you just adopt somebody, you bringing them forth and as new to the family. No, adoption means to be brought back. And the only ones that's going to be brought back is the nation of Israel. Why? Because we was casted off as a people, man. The Most High took our language from us, took our heritage from us, and we was in a state of in a Gentile state of mind. Keep going.
And the glory and the covenants.
And the covenants, showing you that the new covenant, the old covenant and the new covenants will be pertaining to the Israelites, man. Keep going.
And the giving of the law.
Mm-hmm.
And the service of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And the promises.
And the promises, man. So everything according to the scriptures about salvation and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law was only pertaining to the Israelites, man. None else. Keep going.
Who are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, blessed forever. Amen.
God. It said who for Mashiach came. So Mashiach only came for the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And that's written. Let's go now. Let's jump to that Matthew 10. Because when we started getting into these scriptures, you're gonna see that the kingdom of heaven is only for the nation of Israel. So that's why we said, why did the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? They actually think they're gonna get salvation because they can run up and say John 3:16 and not know what the hell they're talking about, man. Not actually understanding the truth behind John 3:16.
God.
God. This is Matthew 10 and starting at verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
These 12 Yahushai sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into the city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Mm-hmm.
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
It said, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And keep going.
And ye go, and as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
And that's what we're saying. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, showing that the Most High is giving the kingdom of heaven is to Israel, man. Now let's get that Acts 1:6. It says, go preaching that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Why did he tell them not go into the way of the Gentiles and in the city of the Samaritans enter ye not? Because the Lord wasn't dealing with these heathens, man. He's only was dealing with the Israelites, man. And tell them that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, man. Come on, man. Come
on. Jeremiah 3:23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord our God is salvation of Israel. Right, man.
That's right.
That it said truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and the mountains. Those are the other nations, man.
That's right. Yep, you're right. And it says salvation of Israel, showing that the Lord is only pertaining Israel or salvation to the nation of Israel, man, and none else. Let's get that Acts 1:6.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
And that's what they asked the Lord. They actually have a shot. Lord, well, now this time when you restore the kingdom to Israel, showing that the kingdom of heaven is only written for the Israelites, man. Keep going.
And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power.
Mm-hmm. Hey, now, but he gave us what? He gave us the warning signs when these things were starting to take place, when the kingdom of heaven will be at hand, man. When you read that in the Matthew 24 chapter, the things you should be looking for, man. In the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, the 16th chapter, things that you should be looking for that's going to be taking place when that will what usher in the kingdom of heaven, man. Sirach, the 10th chapter, man, a transition of power. This is what you're seeing taking place, man. And he's going to do what? He's going to get at to who? The king, to the nation of Israel, man, under his son Yahweh Shah, man. Let's grab Daniel's 2:44 about Shah, because this is what you're seeing taking place, man. The kingdom of a transition of power is taking place where the Most High is ushering in the kingdom of heaven to the nation of Israel. And these heathen nations, they actually think they have something to do with the kingdom of heaven when they don't. Only thing they have anything to do with the kingdom is servitude under the Israelites, man. Because we clearly see throughout the scriptures that the Lord is saying, "Go ye and teach the nation of Israel and tell them to repent, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand." And then at the same time, they tell you, "Hey, the Israelites are saying what? Well, now will you restore the kingdom to Israel?" Showing that the kingdom is what, man? It's just a position of rulership, which would be on the earth, man. That's what you're seeing about to take place, man. A transition of power.
I got a quick precept.
God, bring it out.
Just going into that transition of power, and being able to understand the scriptures to the point where we're able to measure the times through the scriptures. This is second Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right. So through the precepts, man, we're able to discern, okay, Esau is currently in the rulership of this world. So what's to come after that? As the scriptures say, it's Jacob, Israel.
That's right.
How we know the kingdom is coming for it says it right there, Jacob,
That's right. That's right. God, beautiful, bro. God.
I got that. Daniel's 2:44. And the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed.
It said set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, man. And we know that's talking about what? The kingdom of heaven, man. Keep going.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
Oh man, that's a cut. It said the kingdom shall not be left to another people, man. Showing that you heathen nations had nothing to do with the kingdom of heaven. It said it shall not be left to any other people. Keep going.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all the kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
So it's gonna break. It said it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. What kingdoms, man? The kingdoms that's in place right now. That's why the scriptures say he said have many crowns, man. Because he's gonna take all these kingdoms down, man. And that's what you're seeing taking place. Like the brother said, we're living in the end of a world. That world goes back to Eon, the end of an age. Who age is that? Esau, Edom. So the Most High is doing what? He's taking Esau, Edom out by gradualism through these plagues and ushering in the kingdom of heaven, which will be what? The kingdom of Israel, with his beloved son in a position of rulership, man. Grab me, let's jump into let's get Micah 4:1. And the brother hold Micah 4:1, and let's get Hebrews 8, and let's jump on that Micah 4:1 real quick.
This is Micah 4:1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains.
He's talking about on top of the mountains. The top means governments, man. The nation of Israel will be the top government on the planet of the earth. Keep going.
And come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established on the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow unto it.
Mm-hmm.
And many nations shall come and say, Come, let us go up unto the mountain of the Lord and the house of God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways. We will walk in his paths, for his laws shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Showing you that, hey, real quick now, let's grab that Hebrews 8, and let's start at 8, because he said he will teach us his ways. We understand through the in the New Testament, but part of the new covenant that, hey, the laws will be in our inward parts. We won't have to teach each other about who we are, man. Having like the brother Archie always say out there with a 12 tribe son, man. The other nations they'll have to be taught the law, statutes, commandments in the kingdom of heaven. Because while we're gonna be in the position of rulership, so it's gonna be up under the laws of Yahweh while Yahweh Shah, man. That's showing you that these other that's gonna be what people in servitude under the nation of Israel, man, and showing that the kingdom of heaven is only meant for the nation of Israel.
Um, this is uh this is Hebrews 8:8. But finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
So where's the other nations in that? He said he'll make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, represent the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, man. The 12 tribes. Keep going.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the covenant that I will make with those, Salakia, that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
And so the law, statutes, commandments will be in our hearts. That word for Hebrew is la'ab, our minds. So we won't even think of evil thought. We won't even think about going off because we'll be perfect, man. That's why the scriptures are speaking to Micah that we have to go what? The heathen have to be coming but flowing to us, and we have to teach them our ways. We have to teach them the law, statutes, commandments. Keep going.
Psalm 11. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor,
See,
and
look,
every
there it
man.
goes. And it said they should not teach every man his neighbor because the law, statutes, commandments will be in our inward part, man. So what is he speaking about when you speak in the book of Micah, man? When he's talking about the kingdom of heaven, it's showing that the heathen nations will be in a position of servitude to the nation of Israel, man. Showing that the kingdom of heaven is only meant for the nation of Israel to be in a position of rulership. Keep going, just finish it out, Baba Kushah.
And every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest.
See, all shall know me to the least to the greatest. Now let's jump back to that Micah. Showing you that hey, these Christians don't know what the hell they talking about, man. That you can clearly see why would we be have to why would the law, statutes, commandments have to be taught to these nations because they won't have the law, statutes, commandments in one part, man. Showing that the Most High didn't bless them with the new covenant. That's part of the new covenant, man.
I got a quick precept.
Time, bring it out, bro.
Um, just backing up off of what you was stating about how the Lord hasn't dealt with these other nations. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Baba Kusha, I just lost it. I got it. This is Psalms 147 and verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Right. So just backing up off of what the brother Tazamak was saying through the spirit, yeah, the Lord is not dealing with these other nations, man. You know, the Lord is solely dealing with the house of Israel. And then when we are established in our rulership, you know, under Yahweh Why Yahweh Shai, we're gonna have to go ahead and teach these other heathens, man. They're not gonna be afforded the opportunity to have that 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 word put inside of them because the Lord has not dealt with these other nations.
That's right.
He has dealt with us solely.
That's right. Come on. Let's read that Micah 4:3, and then brother grab Isaiah 14:1.
I
We'll
already
jump
got
in
that
there.
Isaiah.
Just hold that. We'll jump. Read that. Micah 4:3, Bob Shah.
Micah 4:3. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off,
Let's talk about Yahweh Shah. Keep going.
and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and
Mm-hmm.
their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn the way of war anymore.
And that's showing that a process of elimination that the people in the land of Israel are not the people of the book, because it's war and turmoil taking place all over this world, man. Under Edom rule, under the Amalekites, because he said they would need to learn war anymore. What you think taking place over there in the land of Israel, on the Gaza Strip? War. What you think taking place, man? Israel and Iran is in position about to go to war against each other, showing that they're not fitting the prophecies of Micah 4:3, man. Because they're fitting the prophecies of Micah 4:3. All the nations will be flowing to them heathen in the land of Israel today. But what they got? They promote the pink city. They promote the nasty people, showing that they're not the people of the book, man. Showing you that the Lord ain't dealing with their ass, man. Showing that these people are doing what? They took the scriptures unto themselves to hide it from the true people of the book, man. Let's jump into that Isaiah 14:1, Baba Busha.
God, Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
That's a
And
cut
set
right
them in
there.
their
It said, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel. That's a cut right there. Keep going.
and set them in their own land,
Hold it
and the
right there.
strangers.
Atazawam, grab Jeremiah 23:7 and read for Isaiah 14:1 and pause on that and set them in my own land, Baba Busha.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land.
Okay, brother, grab that. Brother, grab Jeremiah 23:7. It's showing you how to process elimination. If there's people of the book, this prophecy that took place.
Salakia.
You got that,
Jeremiah
Tazwan?
23:7. Not Salakia. I had accidentally muted myself. Jeremiah 23:7. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Because this is, hey, let's keep going. Let's see what it says.
But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country,
Mm-hmm.
and from all the countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land.
God, showing that prophecy haven't taken place yet, man. So that's a clear cut to them guys over there in the nation of Israel, man. Right now, they're saying that they're the people of the book, because the Most High he's gonna do what? He's gonna grab up the elect, beam them up, and put them in their own land. That's what's gonna take place. But we know what the plagues and the destruction have to take place before we be restored in the nation into our own land, man. These heathen have to build the kingdom up, but through the Spirit, that haven't took place yet, man. Showing that they're not fulfilling prophecy. And we can jump back to that Isaiah 14:1, and we'll read down.
Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel,
Mm-hmm.
and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Ooh, and it says, and the strangers shall join unto them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, man. And that strangers is talking about Israelite foreigners that was dwelling in other lands. Let's grab Acts 2:5 and Atazawam. Grab let me see, Revelation 7:9. Because it's just because Esau and these heathen they try to take that and they try to spin it. Like, oh, look, see the strangers. That's talking about us. That's talking about us. We got to position. Now look, we're gonna be in the kingdom of heaven. We're gonna cleave unto you. No, man. Let's talking about the Israelite foreigners, man. The Israelites that look like the other nations, man. Even though through the Spirit we're Israelite foreigners as well, because we're in another land. We was in a Gentile state of mind, but through the Spirit, it's the ones that look like the other nations and was speaking their tongues as well, but actually look like them, man. Brother got that? Acts 2:5.
God. Acts 2:5. And there were dwellings at Jerusalem, Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven.
Out of every nation under heaven, man. Those are those strangers that you read about that's gonna cleave into the house of Israel, man. That was dwelling on all these different in these different foreign lands, man, outside of Babylon the Great. Now let's grab that Revelation 7 and 9, Baba Kushah.
Revelation chapter 7, verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues,
Out
stood.
of every, it said nations, kindreds, peoples, and tongues. Because our people are gonna be what? Speaking a different language, man. Because the most high scattered us abroad, man. You can finish it out.
Stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands.
Done. And that's showing you that we had what? That our people is going to be looking like these other nations, man. And real quick, the prophecy that was fulfilled, I'm going to read it. The book of Ezekiel Chapter 36, verse 19. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judged them. So the Most High scattered us, man. That's when you read about dispersed. We was dispersed amongst the heathens, man. And you know the Israelite man started doing what? Dwelling with the heathen women, and bringing forth children. And but we know through what your genealogy is through the man's seed, man. And where life begins, through the man's seed, not what Esau, Edom, and these heathen teach that it's through the woman. No, it's through the man. Because all you read throughout the scriptures, just talking about the man, the lineage of the man. It's not talking about the lineage of the mother. It's talking about the lineage of the man. Because the man is what? The one is it's called a kingdom for a reason, man. Let's jump back to that Isaiah 14 and 2.
Isaiah 14 and 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants, handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
So if we're talking about the kingdom of heaven, it said the people shall take them. We're going to grab them up. And it said and bring them in their place for possession. They're going to be a possession. When you possess something, that means it's yours, right? So if I have some sneakers and I purchase them, they're my sneakers. That's just like here in Babylon the Great. When it comes to this birth certificate, we're what? We're property of the state. Because they talk about the Emancipation of Proclamation. Emancipation just means a transfer to what? The state. We transfer from private sector of the slave owner to what? To the state. That's what you're seeing taking place. So we're going to be what? It said Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, man. They're going to be we're going to be, hey, that's in the law, man, that we should have slaves. Let's get Leviticus 25 and verse 44. That's written in the law that we'll have slaves, man. So I'm gonna read it again. Isaiah 14 and 2. And the people shall take them and bring them in their place, in the house of Israel possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors, man. Who's the ones in a captive state of mind? Who's the one in the position of servitude in this kingdom? The Negro, Latino, Native American, and Spanish, man, the Haitians and the West Indians, man. We're the one under servitude under this devil, man. When you pay for money and your tithes come out your check, showing that you're a slave, man. Showing that you're paying tribute to who? The king. Who's the king? Esau, Edom, man. They're the one in the position of rulership, man. We're in a position of servitude, man. But let's get that out of the law that we'll have slaves, man. It's in the law, man.
It's
You call for
Leviticus 25 and verse 40. I think it's around verse 44.
Leviticus 25 and 44. Both thy bondman and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen.
Woo, that's a cut. It said both thy bondman and bondmaid, which thou shalt have, should be of the heathen. Showing that the Lord is doing what? He's going to give us the heathen. Real quick, I'm going to grab it. The book of Psalms 2 and 8. Read that again. I Taza Juan Baba Bashan.
Con. Both thy bondman and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen.
Real quick. The book of Psalms 2 and 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So the Lord is already telling you that the heathen is for your possession anyway. And it's in the law that we'll have what? Heathen as for servitudes, man. You can finish it out, Tazwan.
I got
Con. You
go
saying
ahead,
something?
bro. Finish it out. I get my precept afterwards.
Okay. That are round about you.
Mm-hmm.
Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. That's it on that.
Showing you that it's in the law that the ones that will be serving us will be of the heathen, man. Con. You can bring your precept, bro.
God, this is Isaiah 49 and 22. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in thy arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. Right, man. It's talking about once we actually come down off those chariots, and the Lord sends out His judgment upon these heathen, man. And you know what I'm saying, when He sets His people back upon the earth, man, because hey, those people are gonna be coming to us to seek what's the word? Pretty much goodwill, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be trying to please the Lord by being pleasing unto His people. Because in that time, hey, they're gonna know who the true people of Yahweh Shai is, man. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna keep going.
Con.
And the kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth. Right, man. What does that sound like, man? That sounds like servitude to me.
That's
You
right.
said the king gonna be a nursing father and the queen a nursing mother. So that's talking about these high up heathens, man. You know,
Mm-hmm. Con.
lick the dust of thy feet, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Right, man. So and this is coming to first and foremost to the elect, man. You know, but hey, so all of Israel, man, really, man, ultimately.
Con.
Right. Con. You have something on Tazwan?
Uh, trying to find it right now.
I'm gonna bring this out real quick. It's the book of Isaiah 60 and 2. It says, and the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings and their ministers shall unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Showing that the Most High said that's the strangers shall build up the walls. What is the walls? It's talking about the kingdom of heaven. Let me keep going. Verse 11. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day or night, that man may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. Showing you that they're gonna bring their substance unto the nation of Israel, man. All their prized possessions, all the things that that's likened unto us, they're gonna bring it to us, man. The good fragrances, the women, the good cattle, anything you can think of, man, they're going to bring it to the nation of Israel, man. Because why? Because they're going to be building up the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be in a position of servitude under the nation of Israel, man. You find that precept, bro?
No, I wasn't able to.
I got another one real quick. This is the book of Revelation. It's talking about the gates shall not be shut, right? Book of Revelation 21 and verse 10. Let me see. Bear with me real quick.
I got one for you, up.
Bring it out while I'm searching for the Bible shot.
Isaiah 61 and 6. But ye shall be named priests of the Lord. Men shall call you ministers of Yahweh. Right, man. This is when we come into power under Yahweh Shai. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles. Right, man. So hey, their wealth, the things that they own, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we're gonna take those things, man. You know, we're gonna take them and they're gonna be giving them unto us hey man, to gain our pretty much our approval, man. In their glory shall ye boast yourselves, right, man? So all the things that they glory in, like they find gold, like the brother was saying, like they riches, man. They I'm saying they find they precious metals, things like that. Hey, we're gonna take it and we're gonna boast it in ourselves, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For your shame, ye have double, and for the confusion ye shall receive, you shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore, in their land shall possess double everlasting joy be unto them. Right, man. But the point was in six, man, was we was gonna take these Gentile stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? We was gonna, hey, all the precious, all the things that they the same way they did us when we went into slavery, man.
Mm-hmm. And I found it too, man, because talking like I was just reading Isaiah 60:11, that the door shall not be shut, and it shall be open continually. I read it here in Revelation, the 21 chapter, around the let me see, around 20 verse 23. And the city had no need of sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of Yahweh did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. And the gates of it shall not be shut day or by shut at all by day, for they shall be no right, no night there. So it's showing that all the nations is going to bring what they're going to be bringing forth their glory and their honor into the kingdom of heaven, man. And that's talking about their prized possessions, man. Talking about the different fragrances, the different cattles, the different raw materials, everything that's precious. They're going to be bringing it to the nation of Israel, man. Just like we do in this society, man. They're gonna do the same thing into the nation of Israel, man. They're gonna bring forth their tithes, man, to the nation of Israel, man. That 10%, and it's gonna be good. Ain't gonna be no lame shit either. It's gonna be some good prosperous, some goodly possessions, man. Verse 26, and they shall bring the glory and the honor of all nations unto it. And it says, and there shall in no wise enter into it, and anything that defileth, neither whatsoever walk of abomination or maketh a lie, showing that Esau Edom won't be in the kingdom of heaven. Won't be in the kingdom of, let's read it again. Let's read it again. And it said, there shall no wise enter into anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life, showing that no Edomite is going to be taking place in the kingdom of heaven. They're gonna be what? Outside the gate. They're gonna be outside the court. They're gonna be outside the gate, man. That's what's gonna be taking place. They're gonna be outside the gates. They're gonna be in the field. They're gonna be out there working. That's what's gonna be taking place. Ain't no Edomites gonna be up in the, getting the glory of the kingdom of heaven. They're gonna be out there in the field, building, making little, like they always say, making a little rock out of a big rock and a big rock out of a little rock. They're gonna be out there working, man. Put forth that servitude under the nation of Israel, man. And that's what's coming, man. Any brother have anything?
Fine. St. John 4:22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We worship, we know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
That's right.
Hey man, that's clear and plain. You only gotta break that one down, man. You know what I'm saying? To say, hey, if you worship anything thinking you finna come into salvation, man, salvation is only for the Jews.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I'm gonna bring two out real quick. It's Isaiah 45:17. For Israel shall be saved in the Lord with the everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed or confounded, world without end. So that's a clear cut what that world is describing when you read John 3:16. Because we know that world is in John 3:16 is the Greek word cosmos, which means what? Harmonious arrangement, which is that harmonious arrangement I just read in the book of Isaiah 45:17. This is the book of Isaiah 65:17. For behold, I create a new heavens and a new earth, and a former thing, and a former shall not be remembered or come into mind. So this kingdom, what you see now, this weak ass kingdom, it ain't gonna come into mind, man. It's bullshit, man. It says, but ye shall be glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. But behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, in her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall no more hear in her, or the voice of crying. So, hey, the Most High, like he said in the scripture, he's gonna wipe away all tears, man. So he said he created a new heaven and new earth. And that's gonna be what? The kingdom of heaven, man. And bestowing unto his beloved son Yahweh Shah. He's gonna have full dominion, man. He's gonna have full dominion in the kingdom of heaven, man. Let's grab that, the book of Daniels. You got a precept, bro?
Nada.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. And that's what's coming, man. That's what you see about to take place, man. Yahweh Shah is about to have full dominion on earth, man. The kingdom of heaven. That's what's coming. And our big brother Yahweh Shah is going to reign on earth, man. He's going to take all these kingdoms down. He's going to conquer all these kingdoms. Real quick, I'll bring this out. And if any brother have anything else, we'll close it out. Just want to show you that the kingdom of heaven is only for the Israelites, man. That's it. That's it. None else. It's the book of 1 Corinthians 15 and verse, let's see. Let's see, 23. Con. This is First Corinthians 15 and verse 24. Then the end cometh, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom of Yahweh, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and all power. For he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet. And that's what you about to see take place, man. Our big brother Yahweh Shah is going to have all these other nations under his feet, man, in the kingdom of heaven, man. And that's a kingdom. I don't know what the hell these damn Christians talking about. Everybody gonna be floating around in the damn sky and some fucking white, just goddamn all fucking happy and shit. Nah, the kingdom of heaven is gonna be on earth, man. That's what's gonna take place, man. The kingdom of heaven is gonna be on earth, and our big brother Yahweh Shah is gonna reign upon whose throne? The throne of David. That's what's gonna take place, man. He's gonna reign on the throne of David, and King David is gonna be our king, man. Come on, man. That's what we seeking for, man. Why ain't that being taught in the churches, man? Showing that they don't know what the hell they talking about, man. Through the Spirit, man. But through the Spirit, Lord willing, is an edifying lesson through the Spirit and power Yahweh Shemel Shai. Just wanted to grab some scripts on how the kingdom of heaven is only meant for the nation of Israel, man. And through process elimination, that the people in the land of Israel today are not who the people of the book are, man. Showing that the Most High is revealing the secrets to the servants, his prophets in these last days. You said you had something else, bro?
Just going in on the kingdom of heaven gonna be here on earth, man. Because the kingdom of heaven's the crowns of these leaders gonna be taken from them and given unto who? Yahweh Shah. Revelations 19 and 12. His eyes were a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had the name written, and no man knew but himself. Right, man. But the point is, his head wore many crowns, man. Because when the Lord come back, he not meeting these people as a man. He's not meeting these heathens as a man, man. He's coming back to meet them as a divine being. Hey, man, he coming back as the ambassador of Yahweh, man. You know, so he coming back with pure power to pretty much take the world by force, man.
Mm-hmm.
But that was all I had on that, bro.
Kind, man. I said it, so I gotta get it, man. It's tough. Cause I said Yahweh Shah is he's gonna sit on the throne of David, right? This is the book of Isaiah 9 and 6. But for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. The government shall be upon his shoulder. It's talking about Yahweh Shah. His name shall be Wonderful Counselor, Mighty Power, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. These are different titles. And it says, and of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, showing that the kingdom of heaven is going to be forever, man. Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom to order it and establish it with judgment and with justice, henceforth, even forever. The zeal of Yahweh hosts will perform this, man, and showing you that Yahweh Shah is going to sit on the throne of David, man. And that's beautiful. So, hey, man, Lord willing, this is edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah. I want to close it out by saying, Call Hello Yamla, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to our apostle, elders, great mills on the well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth with our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.